Yeah, it was tough, obviously, disappointing to lose, and the goal was to stay longer. That's for sure, win more matches. But I have to give credit to Zhang. You know, he came out firing from the forehand, from the backhand, served great, and just made me a little uncomfortable at times, and played really well in the sets that he won. And yeah, there are things that I could do better that I need to kind of analyze a little and go back home and try to work on, and yeah, come back as a better and stronger player next time I step on the court for competition.
Thank you very much. Andrew.
Andrew Jones, ESPN, and Casper, commiserations on the defeat. You played him at the French Open, and you know that was a tough match there, and how he's talented with it. How much better has he gotten since then, and compared to when you played him in Paris?
Well, yeah. Well, it's different surface for sure. That kind of makes a difference, at least in my eyes, mostly. And he plays similar kind of style on both surfaces. And yeah, I think he probably played better today, and he probably feels more comfortable on hard court compared to clay. I guess that's he grew up playing mostly hard court. I don't know. I'm just guessing right here, but. But you could tell that he feels comfortable, and today it was. I kind of, there were many times where I kind of felt like I hit a good serve or whatever, but he would just, smack a return back, inches from the baseline and make it really tough for me. So that's kind of the advantage for me when I play on clay. That's not that easy to do on the clay compared to hard courts, and I get more time to kind of play my topspin kind of heavy shots, and they bounce up more on clay than here. So that's no excuses to why I lost, but you could tell that his game style was tougher to kind of compete with here.
No matter what, no matter what, the crowd really appreciates you for the class act that you are on tour. Can you just talk about the New York crowd and their appreciation from you from practice week on to just here?
Yeah, it's loud here in New York, and I've been welcomed really well this year, and since last year and what happened, of course, I think I might have gained some fans here in New York, and it was pretty packed in my first round on court 17, and today was also quite a good stadium, grandstand. So yeah, I'll always enjoy coming back here, and I will always have the memory of reaching the final here last year, and every time I come here I will try to think about that and use that as motivation to do well in the tournament. This year it didn't work, but there will be a new year next year, or next time here.
At a Shinakoriki, a lot of sports talk and USOpen.org. At the beginning of the fifth set, you had an exchange with the chair umpire for about a minute and a couple of minutes. It seemed you were very agitated about something. What was that exchange about?
Yeah, it's just a little hard to keep up with the rules at times, because there were big changes in the kind of toilet or changing clothes rules after, I think, was it 2021 or last year or something, here even here at the US Open, where were a couple of matches where this happened. So from what I understood was they kept it down to one change of clothes, and you could have one toilet break on top of that if you really need it, if it was emergency. And one of the breaks can go up to 5 minutes, and the next one I think has to be short, like at maximum 3 minutes. That's kind of what my perception of the rule was, and I just felt like the second change took longer than 3 minutes. And at least on the ATP Tour, I've seen cases in the previous year where someone goes over those 3 minutes the second time, out on a break, clock starts ticking, and as I'm ready to serve, I will win basically every point where he's not, or where he's absent from the court, because I'm ready and he's not, and that's going to give him a point penalty. That's been happening on the ATP Tour. So I was just a little, in a way, curious to if there were different rules here in Grand Slams. Some rules are different from ATP and ITF, since it's ITF who was hosting here, so different rules. But my point of view, I was ready for 2-3 minutes, and I just felt like he was taking more than 3 minutes, and that's why I got a little frustrated, because I was in the flow. I won the fourth set 6-love, and I wanted to kind of keep it going, and then I have to wait for 6-7 minutes, because it takes a little while to get into the room, and then it's 5 minutes in the room, and then he has to come back to the court. So it's 6-7 minutes where I just kind of walk around doing nothing. So it was just a little lost my maybe groove there, and that's frustrating, because you're on the roll. You won the fourth set, and you want to kind of keep going. So that's why I was a little frustrated, and kind of asked the umpire about what the rules are here.
Interesting.
What happened in the fourth set? Did you just get your momentum? I mean, 6-love is kind of crazy compared to the rest of the match.
Yeah, well, it's how it goes sometimes in 5 sets. If I broke him early, and then he did a couple of mistakes. I broke him, and I held my serve, broke him right away, and 3-love, and then when you break him the second time, 4-love and hold to 5-love, I kind of felt like he gave up the set, 5-love to 6-love. So that's kind of how it goes. 2 breaks, and then it's tough to get it back. So I guess sometimes people in Grand Slams, they just kind of throw away the last game to save some energy for the next set. So that was kind of how I viewed it.
Any other questions in English?
Arthur Kapatakis with USOpen.org. Throughout the match, or particularly in the fifth set, how much of it do you think was a case of your opponent just playing really well, or how much of it was you not being able to find your best tennis?
Yeah, it's a mix of both. He plays so fast that I kind of find it difficult to set up my shots, and that's something I need to be better at, for sure. Flatten out the shots and kind of counter-attack when people are playing this fast against me. So, like I said, credits to him, because he went for it, and many of the shots that he went big on, they went in, and that's frustrating, of course, because typically when someone goes, that big, mistakes will kind of creep up, especially in the 5-set match. But I kind of felt like they didn't, at least in the fifth set, where I kind of maybe needed or hoped that there would come some more mistakes. So fifth set was tough to get, be two sets or 2 breaks down, but I fought all the way to the end. I didn't want to give up. I don't want to leave New York tomorrow, but that's going to have to be the case this time.
Okay. And one last question.
David Long from Stuff in New Zealand. I know it's not the end of the year, but I wonder if you could reflect on how 2023 has been, starting from playing in front of 20 people indoors in Auckland to how it's all gone from here. What would you look to do different for next year if you could do that yet?
Yeah, it hasn't been what I hoped, but I was pretty honest, I think, after last year, that I have to prepare for a tough year, because things last year went kind of beyond my expectations for myself, and starting the year as world number 3, I didn't think that was going to be very realistic when we started, let's say, 2022. So I kind of prepared and talked pretty openly about I'm expecting at some point there will be some kind of down period, or will be a year or months where I don't get it right. So that's part of the sport, I guess. It's not fun to be in that period. Of course, this year the highlight was Roland Garros. Kind of changed a little bit everything for me, and without Roland Garros, I would be, pretty disappointed on how the year has been. But if you told me in January you'll reach a final of a Grand Slam this year, of course, are you going to say no, or are you going to say yes, for sure? So I'm very happy that I got that result. But overall, in general, I'm disappointed with other results. So I think there's time to kind of go back, reflect on certain losses that I hope can be kind of shaved off in the future, in a way, and losses that I want to try to avoid, and get some rest home, and then go strong. From Labour Cup and on, it's going to be a hectic fall, and I need to be ready mentally, physically, and I think last year I played so much. US Open final, I went straight to Davis Cup, straight to the Asia Cup, and then straight to Asia, that I was just really tired in Asia. But that's not going to be the case this year. I'm going to get some time home, rest, and work on my game, and be fit and strong, hopefully, for Asia. And the goal is still try to make it to Nitto finals. It's going to be a hectic race for that as well. So I hope I can be one of the contenders to get there in the end.
Casper in the back.
Yeah.
Casper, can you talk about Zhang's game? Maybe which part of his game that you find most challenging, and maybe do a comparison with the match in Roland Garros with him.
Yeah, he plays really aggressive. I think today he played better forehand than in Roland Garros. Was more mistakes from the forehand last time, and that was my game plan, to try to play heavy to his forehand and try to make him run on the forehand. But he was just slapping winners cross-court down the line, coming to the net, and made it really uncomfortable for me. Played fast and played, creds to him. And I think he played really good, honestly. I mean, I'm not sitting here super disappointed with things that I could have done better or my level, but at the most important moments, he was the better player and he stepped up, and that was different from Paris. I think that was, in Paris, I was the one who really stepped up when I had to, and it's a different surface, of course, but he has a great serve, beautiful backhand, and forehand also, when it's on, and really dangerous. So I was impressed in a way of how he played, and he's going to be a threat for many years.